move towards our 2030 goals based on the United Nations vision. As a matter of fact, my latest book, Overcoming Productivity Challenges in Small Countries,
Mhm.
we did a simulation as to when we can arrive at the Vision 2030 goals based on our current trajectory. And the research is saying by 2060, we can arrive at those goals.
So we're
So,
not going to get there for 2030.
no, we're not going to get there for 2030. And it's obvious. This government is a party shop government that they don't understand what is necessary. And that is why Nigel Clark left. That is why he ran away, because he recognized that all they promised, all they wanted to do, they do not have the acumen to do it. They do not have the skill set to do it.
The lack
So
talent.
they have good measurement of debt and modeling of debt and repayment of debt, and convincing the country that paying down debt is the most important thing, when over the last couple of years we increase our incidence of poverty and dependence on welfare. So we now have to begin to realize that the water situation is serious and we have to fix it.
Hold
We
on.
have
You
to
say
do.
we increase our incidence of poverty.
Yeah, and our dependence on benevolence for survival.
Hence, we are putting more money in path and putting more people on path when we should be taking off people if we're growing the way they say we are growing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Explain to my viewers and listeners the fact that the government constantly say that we have 3.5% unemployment, the lowest ever. How though we have that kind of unemployment and the country went into a recession, people are suffering, cost of living, people
Eh,
are bawling every day.
this is a classic scenario where economics does not work for a country. This is a classic scenario of a country violating economics law. The relationship between unemployment and GDP is what we call Okun's law. So when you're growing, it means that you're hiring more people, they are becoming more productive, and as a result, unemployment is falling.
Yes.
And as a result, that's supposed to be a negative relationship between GDP growth and unemployment. When GDP is growing, unemployment is falling. But
Mhm.
what you recognize with Jamaica, and this is why my research is so relevant, because we observe these, what we call idiosyncrasies that defy the laws of economics, where GDP is falling, right? And
Mhm.
unemployment is also falling. So we have a situation where we have too many cooks spoiling the broth.
And it's supposed to be when unemployment is falling, GDP rise.
Yes. But in
Mm.
Jamaica, both fall together. And that is because we don't employ our people in value added industries. We
So we have
employ our people in industries that do not add value to the country's gross domestic product.
300,000 people that sell rag and lighter and kerchief and crocs on the road.
Yeah, so that's basically what you call commerce.
And we have
So
200,000 people are working at Mr. Chin shop. I sell things for the
yeah, the
Chinaman.
wholesale and retail industry hires the bulk of our labor in this country.
And they get minimum wage and sometime
Minimum
less.
wage. So we have to begin to realize that no, we have to reorient our minds as to what is the value of our people and what industries are we going to focus on, what industries are we going to penetrate. I did a presentation in the shadow cabinet the other day where I broke down the different industries that we need to shed labor from, because my book also highlight that there are gross overemployment in many of the industries, meaning they are employing more people than what they need to produce their maximum, including the government. So we
Mhm.
have to now reduce those industry employment levels and filter those people into technologically driven, innovative industries, so that we can now create a foundation for Jamaica to move forward productively, because that is the aim, or that should be the aim. Andrew Holness and his government don't have a clue, and their
Oh,
followers are even worse, because what they do, they don't do any background research. All
mhm.
they do is have these many trolls on the
Yes.
internet following your page, commenting negative stuff,
Yeah.
even when you are trying to express to Jamaican people what is happening.
They don't care
So,
about the truth.
no.
I want to pick your brain this morning, Dr. Orton, because you mentioned the industries that we should be looking at. And I don't know if you were online when the culture and the creative industry made their presentation to the shadow cabinet, because I am of the opinion, and the firm opinion, that the culture and the creative industry is where Jamaica's wealth lies.
Yeah, that's a part of it, you know. And the thing with Jamaicans is that we always think one-sided. So we always think that there's this one specific industry or this one specific channel where all our wealth is going to come from. And the fact of the matter is that's not the case.
Right.
Every economy has to have a balanced portfolio and a balanced offering of industries to
Mhm.
provide options for its employment and for business development. So
Yes.
the fundamental issue is that now we have not been able to harness the potential of our people properly. And you are right, the creative industry has a role to play because
Mhm.
Jamaicans were natural born creatives, we're natural
Talk
born
to me.
entertainers, and
Yes.
the world depends on us for this. But because it's not formalized and because we don't have a structure in place, it makes it very difficult to measure the economic output of these particular events and industry applications.
Mhm.
But when you look at the brighter picture and you look at countries who have been able to achieve sustainable economic growth over the last 50, 60, 70 years, they made a thrust towards technology and innovation being embedded into every other industry in their particular country.
Definitely.
So a country
Yes.
like Singapore, highly technology driven, Japan, highly technology driven, even the United States, highly
Yeah.
technology driven. And we missed the boat 70 years ago. In 1950, technology represented 0% of China's GDP.
Mhm.
Today, technology is over 32% of China's GDP. What percentage of Jamaica's GDP is technology,
You
if I
tell
may
us.
ask? It's not known, it's not measured.
It's not measured
No, as a
in
matter of fact,
in this technology age.
no, exactly. As
But
a
that's why
matter of fact,
I tell people, Doctor Arden, that we have too much analog politicians in Jamaica.
we used to have the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation, right?
Mhm.
No, it's the Ministry of Science and Telecommunication and whatever, whatever. So this government has inextricably
Remove technology.
relegated technology to just telecommunications. And
Mm-mm.
that's so myopic
Mm.
in their thinking. I am like, what are we doing? Where are we headed? Telecommunications is even becoming redundant and obsolete with artificial intelligence being so prevalent. So
Yes.
we have to now begin to think about other types of technology, other types of innovation, and other types of market penetration strategies. So I don't know. We have a far way to go. And if unless we begin to recognize that we need leaders who understand what we want to do, we will never get it done.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is the fundamental challenge. We have leaders who don't understand what we need to get done. So all they are there for is to follow through the rhetoric and to say, yes, I'm the prime minister. Yes, I'm the minister of finance. But the objectives have not been patriotic. The objectives have not been nationalistic. The objectives have not been how do we change the scope of vision of a nation of such remarkable people.
You are the shadow minister of. Remind me, you
Science,
put.
technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
Yes, and therefore you mentioned technology a while ago. Give us an insight into where a PNP administration would take this country in a PNP administration.
Yeah, man, a PNP administration is going to use science, technology, and innovation to change the face of Jamaica. We have a lot of plans in place. As a matter of fact, we plan to ramp up the technological inclusion in all the industries, including crime fighting,
Mhm. We're hearing you, Dr. Arton. We're hearing you.
including crime fighting. Let me show you a simple scenario that I outlined for them, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
we talk about technology, we talk about innovation, and we want to use the idea of technology and innovation to create innovation hubs, to create incubators for business, to support startup businesses, and to encourage public private partnership. For technology, we want to expand the broadband access because now, Jamaica only have 55% coverage. We want to bring it up to at least 90. We want to promote digital transformation in government and also digital transformation in business and to invest in emerging innovations like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the Internet of Things. Fundamentally, even for crime, right? One of my proposed ideas is for us to use 5 million US dollars to buy 2,800 drones. Each parish will get 200 drones, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And the police will have to have these 2,800 drone flyers. So we're introducing a new industry there where
And
we
you,
have to
so
train
so
new
right away
experts.
you're going to create 2,800 new jobs.
No, more
Let
than that. More
let's say
than that.
about
The 2,000,
3,500.
no, listen. If you have persons working on 8 hour shifts,
Yes.
three
Yes.
eight 24 because it's
Yes.
24 hours. So we're going to have three shifts of 2,800 drones in the air monitoring, right?
Oh, hallelujah.
2,800 times 3, 8 3 is 24. So we're looking at 8,400 people
Dr.
being
Arton.
employed in
Dr.
this
Arton.
industry alone.
Hold
Yes.
on. I would have love get back your video because where you talk,
Oh,
me if you
you're
see.
not seeing me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
man.
see?
Because when you are talk, Dr. Arton, me want you repeat it, please and thanks.
Yeah,
Give
man.
me
So I
that
was
drone thing there.
explaining to
And hold
you.
on, labor rights. This is a PNP idea. We have put the stamp on it. We now give this for Andrew to use it because it's election year. So we are going to implement it. Talk again, Dr.
Yeah,
Arton.
man, because we want to be able to monitor crime, we're gonna use $5 million from the budget. We're gonna buy 2,800 drones and we're gonna operate a 24-hour drone system. Each parish is going to have at any given time 200 drones monitoring their airspace, monitoring the ground, surveilling the area. Now,
Surveying the coastline.
when you have 2,800 drones working on three shifts, it means that you need 2,800 person on shift one, 2,800 people on shift two, 2,800 people on shift three. That is 8,400 people
24.
only. You
Yeah.
understand? Plus, you have to have reserve because people take day offs.
Right.
So you
And you have
need
to
more
have people
people
who are going to maintain the drone them
and
and all that.
people monitoring and linking them to the police on the ground. So you have computer personnel and watch the camera. I say, hey, guess what?
So that sound
Over
like
there
about
in Mount Salem,
10,000. That sound like about 10,000
exactly.
jobs. And these should
10,000
be
jobs
good
from
paying
just
jobs.
one technology advancement. And
And
that
we
is just one.
and we're
And I
going to
have
use that to
many
push down
more
crime.
ideas and incidents where we're going to change the face of Jamaica employment status. We're going to minimize our employment in the non-productive industries like pumping gas and like
Yes.
and those sort of stuff, packing bags in the supermarket, and we're going to put our intelligent young people's potential to good use.
Dr.
We're
Arton,
going to partner
hold on.
with the institutions UWI, UTech, Northern Caribbean University, and all these tertiary institutions to reorient their curriculums to move towards drone technology, move towards machine learning, move towards the Internet of Things, move towards artificial intelligence, because this is the future that we want for our people. Jamaica
Brilliant.
must become a high income earning country
Of
where
course.
we do not depend on welfare. As you notice in America, they are beginning to realize that a lot of this welfare is unproductive. So Trump is cutting the welfare budget. So a country like Jamaica now should take its mind off aid and look at our surroundings, internalize our domestic industry, and start to think about what is our role as a sovereign nation. So it's not just about the constitutional reform. We need economic reform because that is the only way this country is going to move forward how it ought to. And we say that without any form of apology or remorse. We need
You see,
leaders who have understanding of economics and can do what is right by us.
you see that question on the screen, Dr. Horton?
Question, let me see. How much for the infrastructure for data collection of these drones? The data collection now and the data storage is going to be computer based, right? The average computer with storage. And that's a good question
Yeah.
because what this does now, this opens up another industry for us to get into the data storage of information. So now we start building data centers, and these data centers now will now open avenues for other countries to store their data with Jamaica. And the expense from the budget is going to be minimal compared to the profit that we are going to be making from these things. We need to now start seeing ourselves as a modern economy, and we are
Yes.
driven towards the future. We have to leapfrog the rhetoric. We're still stuck in 1950, no problem, but we have the potential now to go to 2030,
We have the
2060,
talent.
2100. We
Yeah.
have the talent. So we have to now begin to start using this talent and to say, this is Jamaica, this is my Jamaica, and this is what we want for our people.
You mentioned the non-productive jobs, Dr. Horton, and I was about to say to you that when you go to Walmart in America now, most of the cash registers are self-cash. You cash out yourself. So they are
Mhm.
getting rid of cashiers. You talk about bag packing, they're getting rid of cashiers as well. And in the technology industry that you speak about, I want to speak about the culture and the creative industry where we are looking to earn easily 30 billion US dollars
Yeah,
annually from the culture and the creative
and that
industry.
would be a
And
double of our GDP because
right,
our
and with
GDP is
what you
about
talk
18
about,
billion.
with those drones that you talk about, that sound like we can drive down murders to under 700 a year.
And that is where we ought to go. We are a civilized nation, and we need to act accordingly. And we need to have our young people realize that civilization is not just wearing Gucci and
No.
and driving a beast. Civilization is when you recognize that you have other ecosystems around you
Yes, that you
and
need
you
to
are
tap
not
into.
alone. So you don't disturb those ecosystems, you give them potential to thrive. And that is it. We don't recognize that I am an ecosystem, you're an ecosystem,
Yes.
right?